Hey YouTubers, what's up? Like I said in the NWA video, I was watching stuff today, and I got a bug, so I'm gonna post it. And while I was watching, I came up with a couple questions. I'm going to be answering Mr. Hall of Fame's thread hopefully this weekend, and I'll get that up. Um, I'm gonna be going a little bit crazy because I'm just gonna make the time to do this stuff. Um, there was a couple of There's actually okay. Well, I have here. I did the NWA video. Um, basically, and okay. So the next thing, this is going to be why do I collect? Um, because I started watching videos that I hadn't seen on collecting and interviewing record store owners, such and such like that. Um, that's easy and complicated at the same time. It's sort of a question to answer. Um, to begin with, vinyl record, LP, you know, however you want to term it, was sort of a foreign concept to me as far as a musical medium is concerned. Um, right, because it was not a format that I used growing up. I was using CDs and cassettes. I, you know, probably among the younger group as far as people in the vinyl community. I'm only 23, and so yeah, when I was born, they did have records and they were still using records, but I don't really remember anything like that. If you've seen my REM video, I mean, they were basically an influence from like '91 for me. I've been listening to so long because that's what my dad was playing. Um, you know, at that time and still to this day. Um, but I basically came into the consciousness of records and record collecting at the age of 17, which would be you know which is 5-6 years ago, um, and it was basically because my dad has or had a huge record collection. That's actually a really sad story. He left him in a friend's house and just never went back to pick him up, and he doesn't even know what happened to him. He had stuff from you know all over the world. Um, you know, import stuff you could only get in certain countries. When that he got picked up when he was, his travels and everything. And that's a really sad story. I'm really mad about him about that, but I can't really hold it against him because of the surrounding circumstances. Um, but anyway, he had always told me that records sounded better. He told me that for years, and um, starting with my first Ozfest 2005, um, about let's see, we went, yeah, that was August 20th, the date that I went to see them. Probably about a month or two before that, um, you know, I'm, I mean, for those of you that don't know, I'm a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan. The username on my old channel was OzzyHead692. Um, and I just, because I mean, I had that account I had for a long time, and it was shut down because I was stupid. Um, but the thing of it was, I mean, I'm a huge Ozzy fan, so he brings up, um, a Ozzy Osbourne Blizzard of Oz autographed album, and originally got it just for the autograph. Um, that's the one up there. That one right there. That's the actual That's the actual album. That's the first one that started my obsession. Um, and so he'd always said that, and so it started, really, sinking into my brain about that. So I figured, fine, I'd always been into CDs because that's what I've used. I use CDs and I use cassettes. I don't have a whole lot of cassettes anymore as far as albums go, because basically what I would do back in the day was I would get blank cassettes and just go off the radio and that kind of thing and make tapes and that kind of thing. But the other thing was I didn't really listen to the same music back then. I basically had what my dad would give me, which was basically REM, No Doubt, Eric Clapton, George Thorogood, and a few others, but those were the main ones. Um, and So moving right along, I know I'm getting sidetracked. Um, so I started all the collecting, and I started getting more. And when I think the first record that I actually heard was Guns N' Roses Lies. Um, it was one that we bought that was actually played, um, and it was just amazing. I was floored. I think my jaw like broke when it hit the floor when I heard it. It was just the the sound of it really is just it is that much better. It's that more fuller. It fills the room better than CD does. To me, the sound of CDs. I mean, I won't even talk about MP3. I hate MP3. I have one only because it's easier to do trips and stuff like that um, with this than doing it with CDs and having to carry on batteries and all that other stuff. That was a little bit of a hassle, especially on a motorcycle. So this really saved it and does things a lot better. But to me, getting back to CDs, they just they go out of the speakers and they basically just stay there. The sound of a record to me, it fills the whole room, and I love that experience that you get. I mean, it just you can tell that there is a difference. There really is a difference with the sound of vinyl, the quality of the sound. There's subtleties in the music that you can hear with that format that you can't on any other format. And I'm sorry that the camera's a little shaky, but I'm really trying to emphasize this point. Um, although it does not need to be emphasized with those of us within the vinyl community because we've all experienced that, and I guess that's you know trying to get my point across is for those that just don't get it or have their head stuck up their ass somewhere, or the little, the idiots that swear by MP3 and downloading and all that nonsense. I hate those people. No, um, no, I'm trying to get my sisters away from that actually, and um, in videos that I will be posting later, she actually found some stuff for me when I took her um, record shopping and all that. Um, but anyway, the original point for this is why do I collect it? I know I've rambled on for about 9 minutes now. Um, Originally, because I did not have a record player when I first started collecting, I collected for the covers. You know, I mean, that cover alone, that's an iconic. That is an iconic cover. That's another iconic cover right there. In fact, I like it so much that there's a poster of that right there. Um, so it's she started with the covers because I didn't have a record player. Then when I got one, I would collect, for listening and everything. And I don't listen to a lot. One, because I don't have a whole lot of time because I'm really busy. Two, I'm kind of, especially with the Slayer stuff. I don't play those because those I'm really into collecting more. I mean, I've got all those albums, everything that I've got as far as Slayer goes, as far as Metallica goes for the most part, and the stuff that I listen to on a regular basis is in my iPod off of a CD. So I've got the CD already, except in the cases of bootlegs, certain live albums, the picture disc and that kind of thing. Those specialty collector pieces that I've got, those I don't have on CD or MP3, and I'm not going to be getting a USB turntable to do that because I don't really feel the need to do that with those types of records. Um, so there's a number of reasons: rarity, covers, the music itself. Um, I have I've as an example, well, two examples there. Um, I've got Eminem show, um, double album. Um, I had the CD originally when that album came out. You know, awesome and everything. Uh, and that copy ended up actually being a promo copy. So I haven't really played it. That one. I will probably actually give a spin to because it's such a great album. But again, I've got it on a bunch of other formats as well. So there's no really need to except to experience the sound quality of vinyl. Um, but that's one for collectability. Um, on the metal side, um, and this is seen before in Mr. Hall of Fame's video. In fact, I was jealous of him for a while because he was able to get a copy of this record, and I had the darndest, damnedest, ridiculously hard time of number one finding it, and number two, sorry, obtaining it. Um, that was the band cover of Virgin Killer by Scorpions. That was really hard to get. And then another example is well, I'll give three examples: Testaments, Formation of Damnation, um, and by the way, expecting another album from them pretty soon, which is awesome. That's a like a toxic waste looking green um, color vinyl, limited to 2,000 copies with, and they're not numbered or anything like that, but they've also included a small patch. I've got that still sealed. I picked that up. Uh, Actually, I've had that. Oh gosh, for about 3 years now. It's been in my collection. Another one that I've had for a while is Warbringers for some their newer thrash metal band. Um, Blood red vinyl with patch, still sealed, 1,000 copies. Um, Another one I've got a couple copies um, of this particular record, but not this particular pressing. Um, was the 20th anniversary repress of Autopsy's Severed Survival, which is a death metal band, um, limited to 2,000 copies. Mine's number 560, I think. I'll do a video on that particular album later, and my whole death metal section later, which I'll go into more detail with that. But I think it's 560 of 2,000 still sealed. So there's collectability in that there. I think, and then there's collectability in the Slayer stuff that I've got, stuff I haven't even showed you guys yet, that I'll get around to. There's still a second part to my 45 set, and then I got more to add it, but I've already shown them in a video that I haven't just uploaded yet. But anyway, that's a little bit more on that subject, and I know I've been ranting, and I apologize because this took a little bit longer, but I got going. Thanks everybody for watching. I've been talking to some people recently. I mean, seriously, thank you guys for watching. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because a lot of people do not pay attention to me, especially with music. Um, All right, thanks, guys.